Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Maulida Syifa Salma from Bachelor Office Administration Education B 2021 Faculty of Economics Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ruby Raya Rizika from Bachelor Office Administration Education B Faculty of Economics Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
Hi guys, my name is Diva India Rainarto, Bachelor of Office Administration Education B 2020, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
Hello everyone, my name is Gina Olianuriski, you can call me Gina. I'm from Bachelor Office Administration Education B 2021, Faculty Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Verina Diva Zahra, or you can call me Verina. As you know guys, I'm from Bachelor Office Administration Education, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
My name is Yohana Lastridara from Bachelor Degree of Office Administration Education, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta.
Today our group going to do a presentation about handling meeting. Our group is a group 1 with members Ayudia, Gina, Verina, Yohana, Ruby, and myself. We are making this presentation to fulfill the assignment for this office English class. In this presentation, we will talk about handling meeting and how to prepare a meeting. I'll go first. Definition of meeting. The meeting is the form of communication attended by several people for talk about and solve the problem certain. Another meanings, a meeting is a meeting of members, organization, company, staff, employee to discuss matters that related to interest, organization, office, or company. Next, meeting function. The first is solve problems. The function of the first meeting is to present solution to solve problems. By running a meeting, it can create solution to solve problems. Of course, all parties related to the problem must come together and be open to each other while negotiating a way out. This is what makes meetings so important. Second is democracy forum. Meetings are usually followed by various divisions. They give each other opinions, input, and criticism. The meetings have become a democratic forum in a company or organization. Third is submit information. Meetings are the most appropriate place. Usually, the meeting leader gives the participant time to provide the information they want to convey. With the creation of this communication space, all parties can provide the latest information easily and be heard by everyone in the meeting. And last is medium of coordination. The meeting function becomes a medium of coordination between divisions. All business matters can be discussed in the meeting with various input and new ideas. The information conveyed in the meeting must be heard by every participant. If someone doesn't understand, they can ask for further explanation. In the end, the coordination of all parties went smoothly. Next, meeting according to the time period. Namely, first is weekly meetings are meetings that are held once and usually discuss routine issues. The second is monthly meeting, which is a meeting that is held once a month and discuss problems that occurred during the past month. The third is semester meetings, namely meetings held every 6 months to discuss problems that occurred during the past 6 months and next programs for the next 6 months. The last is annual meetings. Annual meetings is a meeting that is held once a year. For example, shareholder meetings, board of commissioners meetings, plenary meetings of the DPR, and so on. Okay, next I will explain what preparation are before the meeting start. Preparing before meeting, the first is prepare the required documents. prepare the documents and meeting materials needed during the meetings, and print out the completeness of the meeting files later. The second is determine the meeting time. Schedule time where all participants are available. Check calendar. If calendaring software is used, or you can just contact the person. The third is K and agenda. Write down some important points of agenda K for the meeting's report. The last, prepare the meeting room. Setting up the meeting room can include arranging chairs, arranging equipment, making copies of handout, making sure the AC is working, and finally, making sure the room is clean.
I will explain how to raise when an argument takes place at work and how to ask good and effective questions in a meeting. I have 7 points. Point 1. Decide what you want from your question. This is to keep the question and answer given in the proper context. In addition, also try to have clear source and information to support the question you are going to convey. Point 2. Always listen. Before arguing your point across, always listen to what the other person has to say first. Pay attention to exactly what is being said. People will become less defensive when they see that you are making a solid effort to understand their point of view. Point 3. Further clarification can always help. When listening and asking to further clarify a specific point or idea is always helpful, for you completely understand the reason for them to feel a certain way. Don't be afraid to ask for more detail to get a complete grasp or their opinion. Point 4. What's the language you use? When you are expressing yourself, try to avoid using negative words that lose credibility. Words like but and however, including this word in the conversation will make other person believe that they are not value or important. Point 5. Ask the right question. Stay away from asking questions beginning with why. You will typically receive because. Answer will we not help with finding a solution to argument. Instead, ask how. Opponent ends question. That will give more facts. Point 6. Ask loud and clearly. Loud means you have to make sure that your voice can be heard well clearly when asking question, so that your question can be captured properly. In addition, the question asked must also be clear. Do not give a question round around so that it confuses the person you are asking the question. Point 7. What's your body language? Many arguments take the place in your workplace can be avoided, or the less calming simple by expressing positive body language. For example, try to speak and keep your arms across to keep not reaching eye contact. Okay, thank you, and next.
So let's move to the third topics. In the third topics, we have refusing opinion. What is refusing opinion? Refusing opinion is when we had a conversation or discussion with someone else that we don't always have a same opinion, because everyone have their own opinion even though the goals is same with us. For example, in a company, if they have a problem, they will have a meeting, and in that meeting everyone mostly have their own ways to solve the problem. So the company is have a rule to choose the best way from people's opinion to solve their problems. In this topic, we talk about refusing opinion, right? So there are a few things that we have to pay attention to before we express our opinion or refusing our opinion. I think it's the first point is to express our opinion with polite ways, because if we don't express our opinion with polite ways, it will hurt others' feelings, right? And yeah, I think you really know that so well. The second one is, I think you have to know knowledge capacity of before you express your opinion, right? It's important to understand very well about the topics of your discussion to avoid a conflict, of course. And the third topic is we have to clear and strong base to support our opinion, right? It may be some data or facts to support our opinion. And the fourth point is don't what should I call this? Don't interrupt other people conversation, right? Just let others people finish their opinion first. I mean, until it's completely clear. After that we can respond their opinion. And last but not least point in my explanation is, it's basically, guys, I think you should know this. Don't attack people that talking to you in a discussion, and don't take it personally, I think, because if you take the discussion and the arguments to personally, it will cause an conflict after a discussion, right? It's not a good thing, guys. I think you get it until this point, okay?
Here I want to explain the material about negotiation. Let's get started. Negotiation text is a text that aims to reach an agreement between parties who have different interests. The negotiation text contains agreement sentences regarding issues that require resolution. According to the Big Indonesian Dictionary, or KBBI, negotiation is a process of bargaining by negotiating in order to reach a mutual agreement between one party, group or organization, and another party, group or organization. Negotiation purpose. The purpose of negotiation in terms of business, some of which are to 1. Reach an agreement that has a common perception, mutual understanding, and agreement. And number 2, reaching a solution or a way out of the problems faced together. And 3, achieving mutually beneficial conditions and no one is harmed. Then there are also negotiation text characteristics. And what is it? Number one, generate an agreement. Number two, lead to practical goals. And number three, prioritizing common interests. And number four, is a mean to find a solution. Next, there is the negotiation text linguistic rules, and here is it. Number one, use polite language, and number two, there are persuasive expression. Number three, contains speech pairs. Number four, the resulting agreement does not harm both parties. Number five, commanding and fulfilling orders. Number six, no argument in one time, based on strong arguments, accompanied by facts. And number eight, ask for reason from the negotiating partner, why, yes or no. And number nine, the last one, don't interrupt argument. And finally, there is the complex structure of negotiation text. And here is the structure. Number one is orientation. What is orientation? Orientation is an opening sentence, usually a greeting. Its function is initiate negotiation. Number two is demand. What is demand? Demand is a thing in the form of goods or service that buyer want to buy. Number three is fulfillment. What is fulfillment? Fulfillment is the ability to obtain good or service from the seller as requested by the buyer. And number four is bidding. Bidding is at the climax of the negotiation. Both parties bargain with each other. And number five is agreement. What is agreement? Agreement is the agreement between the two parties to the negotiation that have been carried out. Number six is purchase. Purchase is the consumer's decision to agree to the negotiation or not. And the last one is closing. Closing is a sentence, usually a greeting or thank you. And that's all the material about negotiation that I explained.
The topic number 5 is making decision. Have you ever making decision? Or have you know before what is making decision? A decision making process is a series of steps taken by an individual to determine the best option or course of action to meet their needs, also determine the planned path. Decision making is the process of making choice by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolution. Using a step-by-step decision-making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decision by organizing relevant information and defining alternative. 7 steps in process making decision. The first one is articulate the decision. Identify the issues and what decision need to be made. The second is gather information. Do intensive research or of relevant background. The third is identify your option. After gathering the information, test out the possible and most likely decision. The fourth is evaluate the information. See how the research and background you've identified aligns to one or more of your decision option. The fifth is select your decision. The sixth is implement the decision. Take all the steps necessary to make sure the decision is made and followed. And the last is review your decision. Refine as neat as you go forward and evangelize result for the future needs. That's all I know about how to making decision. Decision making in complex situation is never easy. Here are the top 5 critical leadership decision making skill. The first one is identify critical factor which will affect the outcome of a decision. The second is evaluate option accurately and establish priorities. The third is anticipate outcomes and see logical consequence. The fourth is navigate risks and uncertainty. The 5 is reason well in context requiring quantitative analysis. In any decision-making process, decision error of course can be occurred. So these are some common mistakes that usually happen when we are making decision. The first one is ignorance of their responsibility to make the particular decision. The second is ignorance of critical information relevant to the issue to be decided. The third is possessing a casual approach to the importance of input relevant to the issue to be decided or to be seriousness or importance of the overall situation requiring a decision or frequently result when data or information is overloaded. The fourth is distracted by other events, tasks, sense of priority, and the last one is as a situation degrades or critical decision get increased, stressment, tunnel vision sets in and we focus on what we know, what is familiar, tending to miss important things or at the worst, ignoring things that are important.
Hello everyone, my name is Johanna. Right now I want to explain to you guys some expressions and example in the meeting. In a meeting, the using of expressions are very important. We should use expressions that are polite and friendly, so the meeting participants can be enthusiastic and actively participate in the meeting. First, the opening. In opening, we should welcoming and thanking all the participants for taking their time to attend this meeting. First, we can greet them like good morning everyone, good afternoon all. Then we can say, since we've gathered here, let's start the meeting immediately. I'd like to welcome everyone today in this meeting. Let's get started. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today for this meeting. Second, introducing. After opening, we can introducing ourselves or the other participants. We can use, well, let's start it by introducing ourselves quickly. Please state your name and your position. Okay, let's make it quick. My name is, I'm the manager of R&D department. I arranged this meeting because of, or maybe, for example, we can use, please join me in welcoming Mr. Rio from the Singapore branch. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Georgia. Third, explain the agenda. After introducing, we must explain the agenda so the meeting participants know the agenda and the meeting can be run smoothly. For examples, does everyone already have a copy of the meeting today? I've called you all in this meeting today for you can mention the reason. We're here to discuss about the project of which must took concern. The main reason for our meeting today is, as you all know, that today we want to talk or discuss about resume and closing. After finishing all the agenda, we must tell the resume of the meeting and close the meeting. For examples, as we've discussed before, that this meeting has concluded 3 points to be executed before the next meeting. If anybody has anything else to add, I would like to end today's meeting with the conclusion of Mr. Rio, could you finish these problems before the next meeting? Lastly, if you want to ask something or giving an opinion. If we want to give our opinion, we should use these expressions. Sorry, but to clarify that these problems could work if we do. From my perspective or my department perspective, it's not that simple. Then, if we want to ask, we should use these expressions. Could you explain to me how does it works? Can we go to the previous points?
Thanks for coming to today's monthly meeting. Let's start with apologies for absence. Oh, and before I forget, Frank Lyons is running a bit late. He texted me this morning. And Gary Cope and Carl Madden emailed apologies. Anyone else?
Joy Ballon-Weezer can't make it. She's struggling with some personal issues. I think she's got some sort of foot thing that she's got.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Where's Clive?
Oh, I completely forgot, yes. He can't be here. He's had to go to a meeting elsewhere.
Damn it.
Oh, and Janet Bowers is off sick as well.
Oh, that's a surprise. To tell you the truth, I've forgotten what she looked like.
And I'm delighted to announce we have a new team member with us and specialist minute taker. So, for the benefit of the new addition to the team, shall we all introduce ourselves and what we get up to? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll start. Hello, I'm Rita, Managing Director, as you know.
Hi, I'm Jason Somerville. I'm the new Project and Program Manager for Marketing. I just transferred over from the US office, and I just want to say how excited I am about this new role, especially with some of our new products coming on board. And I also wanted to say how sorry I am to hear about the loss of our HR manager, Sarah Bryant. I think that's going to be an incredible loss to the team.
Oh, yeah, I'm Lucy Strokes, PA to Rita.
I'm Sue Carpenter with a D, and I'm the Sales Director.
And I'm Julian Geddes, the new HR manager.
Okay, on to the next item. Are there any matters arising from the previous minutes? No? Fine. Well, next item on the agenda. I'd like Lucy to talk us through her thoughts on this.
Yeah, well, there's been an actual problem with car parking, you know, ever since Orchard and Shipman moved into the new offices at the back. And we knew this was going to happen eventually, but, you know, our staff have got used to the extra spaces. And what's happened, there's been a few arguments. There was a really bad one where one of our lot complained to one of their lot, which is really bad because we're trying to, like, it's just started us with a bad reputation. So what we need to do is let our lot know that the spaces belong to them, actually.
I'm sorry, are you saying there is a problem with car parking, Lucy? I didn't quite catch all of what you said.
Yeah.
Also, a number of the sales team need their car throughout the day, and they want to know what the company proposes to do about this issue.
I'm not sure. We need to send an email letting all the staff know there are only 5 spaces that belong to us.
Well, I think we should think about priority parking as well. It's the only way we're going to stop people rowing on a regular basis.
Sorry, I got held up in a previous meeting.
Okay, it's okay. We're just discussing car parking issues.
Right. I ride a bike.
Yes, I do too.
You ride a bike?
Yes.
Oh, really? And does it have a bell on it?
Actually, yes, it does.
Please, can we get back?
Okay, I mentioned priority parking. Listen, we need to make a decision on this. I witnessed a fight last week between 2 members of staff.
Oh, stop exaggerating. It was just a heated discussion. I was perfectly in my rights to stand up for myself. Some loser came up to me and said that my car is taking up 2 parking spaces. Now that's just ridiculous.
Well, you do drive a tank, and it does take up 2 spaces. I think priority parking is a good idea, Julian.
Well, thank you. I think that anyone that needs their car for work and uses it during work hours should be given priority, like the sales team.
What happens if one of them is off sick?
So, can we just decide on the priority spaces first?
Well, I can think of about 4 people on the sales team that use their cars regularly. I'll get back to you after the meeting, but I'm pretty sure it's 4.
And well, that should leave enough space for management, provided that is that Jason gives up the tractor.
How about 2 car parking spaces for visitors as well? Prospective clients might need their spaces.
Completely forgot about that. Actually, yes. Let's make it 3.
3.
Oh, please, would you both put your phones away? It's very distracting. Okay. Right, 3 spaces. As it's a difficult area to park with a 2-hour restriction, and client meetings are always running over, that would leave us with 2 spaces left to be allocated.
Have I got a space?
Rita, client meetings shouldn't be running over 2 hours. I mean, mine are 40 minutes max.
Well, I have different types of meeting from you.
Yes, but if meetings overrun, I mean, clients just switch off and get bored.
Really?
Yeah, can we please get back to the agenda item? I do have another meeting to go to after
The
this.
car park is not an issue for me, as I travel by bicycle, as does Frank. Look, I suggest Sue and Jason are allocated the 2 spaces.
Look, I don't mean to be petty, but Jason really does take up 2 spaces.
Excuse me, I would like
Listen,
to
if
say...
he parks by the garages in the corner where he normally parks, he's normally okay there. So let's have him have that parking space. Listen, forgive me, this is just getting a bit
Jason,
silly.
you need to park by the garages.
And I'll coordinate letting the next priority member know if anyone is off sick.
Okay, great. So can we all agree that we send a list to all staff advising them about the priority parking? Is that okay?
Great.
Yeah. And if no one's listening, I'll send it.
Also think that if anybody parks inconsiderately, that they should lose their car parking privilege.
Oh, what does everyone think about that? Lucy? What do you think?
Yeah, he's right.
Okay, that settles that.
Settles what? Loss of privilege or parking by the garage?
Both.
All right, so I'll put a sign up with my name on it, my parking space. Yeah.
Oh, can you put a sign up on all the spaces, Jason?
Oh, okay. Why don't I get a list and then I'll circulate it so there's no confusion.
Fine, Jason, you do it.
Sorry, can I just say...
Okay. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, staff morale. Sue, can you explain the background to this? Sue has identified a growing problem with staff morale. Can you all refer to the issued report?
I wish Clive was here. I mean, actually, he really needs to be here.
No, he doesn't. I'm here. Why does he need to be here? Please, carry on.
Well, there is a concern in some departments that there is low staff morale. This is indicated by the recent low sales figures and also increased sickness absence in some of the departments.
I'm sorry, I don't seem to have the reports. Thank you.
Right, well, there seems to be a significant problem with staff morale in the sales team and also sickness absence and also company-wide, particularly on Mondays and Fridays.
There is definitely low morale in the company in certain departments. New changes that have been introduced, like the IT system. People just want to know why certain people have left, why there's been restructuring, and whether their jobs are safe.
Yeah, isn't this just gossip? Sounds like excuses and laziness to me.
Anyway, it clearly is the case that sales figures are at their lowest since February last year, and it's mainly to do with the amount of absences from the sales team. The recent launch of Comet software has caused problems too, because it seems that people haven't had enough training and are therefore making a number of mistakes.
I've done my best. It's a big department. I would like to say that the basic instruction handout was given out and everyone was shown step by step easy steps about how this should be done, and everyone was provided with should have been provided. Well, no, actually, they were provided with a password that would allow them to log into the new system.
Yeah, so what has this got to do with staff morale?
It's what people struggling with new software. You know, they're making mistakes. It slows them down. It demotivates them. Anyway, if you could all look at the second report. Lucy and I produced a anonymous questionnaire to get feedback from staff about issues. If you have a look, you'll see very clearly the feedback statistics.
And Lucy, I don't mean to pick on you, but you were given a password, and like everyone else, you seem to have mislaid it or lost it, and then you emailed me.
What is this losing or forgetting passwords got to do with low morale? And also, everyone puts down poor management when you talk about morale. It's just a waste of time, these questionnaires.
Look, there are issues that have been raised. Things like lack of training, lack of effective appraisals.
I do appraisals.
Well, when was the last time you conducted a staff appraisal? Anyway, the point is that we need to be working a little harder to get people on side. And we also found out from the questionnaire that some of the issues are to do with the recent restructuring, the job losses, poor management in some departments, and also, as I've mentioned, the lack of training on the new software.
Well, thank you for that, Sue. You do seem to have taken on a lot recently. Look, as there are a few reasons, what would you say was the predominant reason, so that we can begin to tackle one at a time, maybe start work on the major one first?
Well, I think it might be a good idea if you and I had a separate meeting about that. Why don't we move on to the second issue now?
Well, okay, we can hold on that, but maybe we could have one after this meeting. Okay. But you know, Sue, these issues really need to be dealt with now.
Okay, I take your point, but I do wish Clive was here.
Okay, well, maybe we could discuss the new appraisal system now.
We could have an awards night. Some sort of evening to boost morale.
Yeah, get drunk at company expense. Perfect.
Or some sort of team challenge, get everyone pulling together. Maybe in the daytime first.
Yeah, what about go-karting?
Is that a team challenge? What about party Pilates?
What?
Darts. Guys like darts. Everyone's a winner.
It's quite a good idea, actually.
Yeah, and I like darts.
No, I don't like darts.
I think we should send a questionnaire rather than management deciding what motivates the team.
Darts.
No, I might kill someone.
I'm glad you consider everyone, Jason.
Okay, so we'll ask the staff, then we'll put it to a vote.
Yeah, great idea. So we'll give them some options, put it to a vote, and then there'll be no excuse for any complaints.
Okay, time's ticking on. Can we all have a think, come up with some ideas for the next meeting, and then at the meeting we can decide on about 6 and put it to a company vote, yeah?
Why don't we decide on those things now while they're still fresh in everybody's minds?
Yeah,
Okay.
and those issues do need addressing now.
Okay, so what have we got?
We have go-karting, awards night, party Pilates, darts, and drinking evening.
We need more than that. Let's all come up with 4 and email them over in the next 2 days, and I'll take it from there. So, moving on, yes, IT issues. So what are the IT issues? I heard there was a problem on Friday, and I was in St Albans with a new client.
Friday's issues took me quite a long time to investigate. In fact, it took me pretty much all of my afternoon. The F-Drive backup recovery disassociated itself somehow from the PCP main framework. I found that this was a problem dating back to the beginning of last month when the PCP was originally reinstalled. Somehow, quite a large component from the Logative Rebix hadn't been installed in the reinstallation. Indeed, this was also a problem with the external energy source administration detail being overlooked.
Frank, just try explaining that back to us as if we're 5-year-olds, would you?
Oh, jeez.
Shall I continue? There was an external energy issue preventing us from powering up our mainframe and subfeeders.
Do you mean there was a power cut, Frank?
Yes, in simple terms.
Thank you.
So how can we avoid this happening again?
I guess it would be a matter for contacting the electricity supplier.
Pay the electricity bill?
Yes.
Can we minute accounts please pay the electricity bills on time? Agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you.
And maybe we should send Frank on an effective communication skills course. Yeah, agreed, yeah?
Right, moving swiftly on.
What about the training issue?
Oh, I've been thinking about that and I've got an idea, but I want to run it past Clive first. Maybe we could save that for the next meeting?
Okay, but I mean, I think we should have that meeting sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Maybe in the next 2 weeks.
But not everybody needs to be there. I'd like myself and Clive and Frank, because it's relevant to them.
But I think that I should be there as well.
That's my final decision, Sue, thank you. I'll speak with Clive and let you know date, Frank. Moving on, yes, Gary couldn't attend today, so he's provided us with a financial report, which in summary, well, we've had a tough year. The balance sheet's about even, and we're doing pretty well in contract sales, so thanks very much for that. On the downside, loss of revenue in handset sales abroad.
How much are we down on last year? I mean, Gary's layout here is quite confusing. This figure here, 52 or 21. I mean, I'm not familiar with this kind of financial report. He seems to have changed it.
That's a big difference. Let me just have a look. I've got a bit of accounting experience.
Thanks, Julian. You know, that's a lot. Seriously, I mean, what could be causing it?
It's actually neither of those numbers. It's 11.
Are we in red or black?
Well, I think if we can't pay our utility bill, I think we're in the red.
Actually, we are in the black, but we're down on last year.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I think that's about all for this meeting. Just leaves us with any other business.
Yeah, the people are leaving plates and aren't washing up their plates in the kitchen. Well, it is, it's an issue. It stinks.
On the same note, actually, at the shower room recently.
That's
Seen the state of the shower room?
Yeah, okay, can I just say?
Never been in there.
Yes, you should, because you ride your bike.
Okay, we've got a general cleanliness problem. And as far as those issues are concerned, you must make sure they're scheduled for the next meeting. All right, everyone happy? Is the dishwasher not working?